Good morning, good morning, good morning. Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. It is Monday Mindset. How are you? We are kicking off 2021 with a bang. Good morning to the West Coast. How are you? We're coming out of some coldness, heading into some warmth. Good morning to the East Coast. You just have a whole lot of stuff going on back there with the weather, but you always do. So I just wanted to hop on for a quick moment today. There's so much going on, and one of the things I'm hoping that this talk will do will give you a sense of focus because there's so much going on. And actually, some of it's kind of interesting um, to sit back and kind of watch because of the people who are actively involved in certain situations. But it also can be distracting. So, what I want you to begin to do is really turn inward to you, to your life, to your affairs, to your dreams, to your goals, to what's going to let and make your heart sing, and focus on that. There's always going to be something going on out here. There's always something that can grab your attention. And what it does oftentimes so is create a degree of anxiety in you. A lot of people, sorry, I smell cigarette smoke. A lot of people get anxious while you sit there and you watch the TV and the news and things like that. So one of the things that you want to be able to do is have a vision for yourself. We say a vision for yourself, for your life, for the moments that you're living, so that you don't get caught up in so much of that and you still stay focused on what you want to see showing up in your life, because no one's going to create that for you. And as you're sitting there looking at TV, it's not going to make it happen for you. If anything, it's going to give you maybe a little bit more anxiety. So my question to you is, what is the vision that you have for your life this year? The overarching vision. If there was one word that you could use that would describe what your life would feel like for you, what would that be? Now, you may say, Jenenne, I can't really do that because there's so much going on out here. Well, we know there's mind, there's body, and there's spirit. And so often we've caught in the mind and the body. We spend all our time in the mind and the body, in the mind, going over things, analyzing things, trying to figure things out, trying to make things happen. Hi, Mary Wiley. How are you, my dear? Where are you hailing from? What state are you in, or what part of the world are you in? So in spite of there being mind, body, and spirit, we spend a lot of time focusing on the mind and what the mind is saying and the conversations that are going on in the mind. And oftentimes that's actually not even very conscious. Your mind is just on automatic pilot saying things to you over and over and over. But that's where the focus is. It's on the mind, and it's the body. The anxiety that you may feel in your body, you're gaining weight, you're losing weight, your stomach's bothering you, your head's bothering you, your chest is bothering you, your back is bothering you. But what we often forget is the spirit. Is the spirit. There is a spiritual aspect to you, to each and every one of us, and it's that spirit that brings us into the oneness that we all keep talking about. Because spiritually, we're all connected. So what would happen if you begin to focus not just on the mind, okay, and not just the body, but begin to plant yourself and anchor yourself within spirit? What does that mean for you? Hi, Carol Williams. How are you today? Happy New Year, everyone. What does that mean to you to focus and anchor yourself in spirit? That which is divine, that which is forever, that which is unchanging, or maybe that which is changing all the time. What would that mean, and what would that look like for you to anchor yourself in that? Because when we anchor ourselves in our mind, that just keeps us going around and around in circles unless you have programmed your mind, unless you really take time to pay attention to what your mind is saying, to listen to what it's saying, and be willing to cancel out those things that it says that's just off the chart and doesn't make sense or makes you nervous or worried. You can cancel that out. And then if you focus on the body, well, this to me is really just the outer casing that helps us be on this planet. But if you're going to focus on it, then it's a matter of how well you're going to take care of it. How are you going to treat it? How much are you going to allow it to absorb of this energy that's on the planet? How much are you going to get caught up in, I want to say, the toe of where everything is flowing right now, as opposed to being above that? And what can help us be above that is if we also spend some time focusing on spirit. Not just your mind and body, but your spirit. So when we look at our spirit, what's your vision? What's that vision that you have for your life? Now, that's a big piece because we're just talking about for this year of 2021. If you had one word for your life, what would it be? And how will you anchor your life in that one word? That makes sense to you? So what would that be? But more importantly, what's the vision for you? Let's say just for today. Every morning that you get up, what's the vision that you have for you for the day? What's the overarching feeling that you're going to have? What's the overarching thoughts that you want to think? What would be the overarching feelings you would want to feel? And then what is the ultimate results that you want to see in your life today? What are your goals for today? What is it that you want to accomplish today? Because in spite of the amazing backdrop that's happening with, the insurrection, everything last Wednesday, it's like, oh my goodness. And then with, the other comments about what was or wasn't said by the person who is not in charge as the president of the United States and all of that, it's great news. It's a great story. And you want to have just a general sense of what's going on. But what's going to impact you on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis is you defining for yourself what your visions are for your life in the 4 areas. Is that 4 areas of your life? What's your vision for your health and your heart? What's your vision for your faith and your finance? And it may be just one word. And then incremental steps that you're going to take. Nothing gets done unless we put action behind it. But before we can even take the action, oh, it's good to see you too, Carol. Before we can take the action, we want to be real clear on what it is we want to see as our end results. See, oftentimes when we set up things, people are like, oh, I'm going to lose weight at the beginning of the year. That's the usual thing. If I look at TV anymore and see any more Jenny Craig commercials and whoever else's commercials, I'm going to scream. Okay, fine. You want to lose weight. We know that probably lasts the first 30 days. How come? How come? Because one of the places where you've put your focus may have been on what you were going to do with your body, but how much focus did you put on what you're going to do with your thoughts? Because often it's your thoughts that's driving your behavior. Ask me how I know, because I can be an eater. So that's what I'm saying to you. There's 3 components to you. There's your mind, there's your body, and there's your spirit. When you want to succeed and see the results that you want in your life with your goals, you want to connect to your spirit as well as your mind and your body. You want to put your mind in your control. Oftentimes our mind is just running on its own, telling us things we've heard over and over again. It's on replay saying the same things to us. But we forget that because there's mind, body, it's spirit what makes the mind and the body work. If it wasn't for the spirit part of us, our mind would not even exist, nor would our body. So when you're looking at your visions, when you're looking at your goals, start with the end in mind. I love that. Start with the end in mind. Where do you want to end up? You're going to lose weight. Okay, you know that journey is a moment-to-moment journey. So where do you want to end up? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? That's the most critical part. What do you want it to look like, and what do you want it to feel like when you arrive at whatever it is? See, oftentimes we look at goals and we're like, okay, my goal is to exercise 3 times a week. Okay, and that's it. But why do you want to exercise 3 times a week? What will it mean to you to exercise 3 times a week? What will you feel if you exercise 3 times a week? What do you want to feel and experience from exercising 3 times a week? We just want to put the numbers up there and say, okay, that's it, and I'm going to go. And then you start walking about the 6th time or the 4th time or maybe even the 2nd time you start walking. Then what happens? Mind kicks in. Because spirit can override the mind, but you may not have connected to your spirit. Excuse me. So mind kicks in. Then when mind kicks in, you haven't cultivated it to be on your side. So if you haven't, then it comes to you saying, oh, this is too hard. I'm tired. Or I don't feel like this. Or, I see women who are walking, who are on the phone talking the whole entire time. I'm like, this could be your private time. This would be the time for you to anchor your spirit and your body and your mind in the goals that you've set for yourself. But no, we want to get on the phone and talk to girlfriends. We want to get on the phone and chit chat. No, your goals and your vision that you have for your life are sacred, and you want to act as if they're sacred. So in the midst of all this that's playing in the background of our lives, the president and the insurrection and the impeachment and just all of it, the differences between what happened with them and what happened with BLM, all of that, that's life. That's going to play. But I'm calling you to look at your own personal desires, because you can still manifest those. There's nothing stopping you from losing the weight, from making a powerful decision when it comes to your health, from shifting your relationship with money, for being able to step into the goals that you have for your health, or the goals that you have for your finances, or the goals that you have spiritually. None of that with the present has anything to do with you achieving your goals and taking the actions and the steps necessary to see the results that you want. Nothing will stop that. The president ain't gonna come and go, ta-da, you can't lose that weight. Stop. Nothing's gonna stop you except for what? You. So you want to look at all of you. Your mind is part of achieving these goals. Your body is part of achieving those goals, but more importantly, your spirit is the key to achieving the goals that you want to see. So how you stop moving like this in the midst of the storm and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? The way you allow yourself to be centered is to anchor your goals, and you anchor them with your spirit. Your mind isn't enough to anchor them. The same mind that can tell you you need to lose weight will be the same mind to tell you to eat that chocolate candy, to eat that piece of cake. Same mind, because it's not disciplined. It's not following your direction. You haven't disciplined your mind to follow your direction. It's just running on old tapes. It's just repeating the same things over and over that it's heard in the past. You want to realize that you are the one at the helm of your life. Just like when you sit down in your car, for those of you who have cars, because on the East Coast, you're on the subways, and up north, you're on subways. But you know what I mean. If you sit in your car, you're the one that tells that car to start. You're the one that tells that car to go right or left. Well, it's the same thing with your life and with your goals and your visions. Do not get off track already for this year because of what's playing in the background. Yes, you may be more alert, looking around to see who's, who around on the planet. Yes, there are people and Antifa and whoever, all the different names they have, and Quanon and whoever, they're all over. You probably have some in all of our communities. So you're just aware, but you don't give it all your attention. You give your attention to your goals. You give your attention. That's why this is Mindful Monday. You use your mind for what you want it to do. It doesn't tell you what to do. You tell your mind what to do. Carol gave us the greatest word, and that is determination. I was looking at Al Sharpton last night for some reason. I was with some friends, and we were looking at it. I looked up, because she's like, he's lost weight. I said, I thought he was sick. When I looked at Al Sharpton had lost weight. He did a jail time, and I guess he had done a food fast for this time he was in jail. Then when he came out, I guess he went back to his old ways of eating. He gained weight. And he said his daughter poked him on his tummy, and said, Dad, you're fat. And he said that hurt his feelings. He said, I have been in the thick of civil rights. I can fight with the best of them. But my daughter says, Daddy, you're fat. And he's like, wait a minute. So what he did is he decided he was going to do something about his health. Did the protest matter? Did whatever was going on in the world matter? No. He made a decision. And he said, after he finished the whole thing, he said what Carol said. It's about determination. You have got to be determined your goals to become your reality. You have got to be the one determined to see the results that you want. You have got to be determined to take the consistent action for the results until you see those results. Nothing's going to stop you from that but you. So when she told him he was fat, he said, okay, wait a minute, I'm not going to live like this. So he said he started to make some changes. I'm going to make those changes too that he made. The first change he made was he deleted meat. Yes, he did. He deleted meat. Because one of my friends was like, no, he had the surgery. I'm like, a surgery for what? He deleted meat. He said the first week, week and a half after that, he said it was no problem. Then, I don't know what else he deleted, but let me tell you the way he eats. Al Sharpton eats 2 pieces of toast in the morning. I should have it. Oh, it's on my phone. I have to do it by heart. He eats 2 pieces of toast in the morning, and he has a juice press drink. He called it Earth something that he drinks. He exercises 5 days a week for 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. This is a man, I think, who's in his 70s or 80s. So since he's older than all of us, we have no excuse. He exercises 5 days a week for 20 or 30 minutes. I'm like, I can do that because I'm pushing 45 minutes. I can just break it down to do it every day. Then for lunch, he has a salad. He says the same salad he has every day. Now, I don't know about you, but see, I get bored eating the same thing over and over, but I can make this happen. It's lettuce, tomatoes, onions, cucumbers, and something else he adds. I like, okay, let me add some nuts and some avocado to that to just give me a little bit more of a And then later on in the evening, he has another piece of bread. He's killing me with this bread and water. But his doctor told him he had to go from the white bread to the wheat bread. And then he has vegetables. He only eats fish, and he does that on the weekend. So I started today and said, okay, I'm going to eliminate meat. I don't have to eat chicken. I don't have to eat beef. I don't eat steak. I don't have to have that. But I do enjoy fish. So I thought, okay, that'll be my reward for me because I've got crab and I've got lobster in my freezer. I'll eat all that up. I don't know if I'll continue to do that. But before I even get to that, what I want to anchor that in is how am I going to feel when I make these shifts and changes? I'm not going to anchor it in, oh, how hard is it going to be? Oh, God, how am I going to make it happen? None of that. I'm anchoring it in the fact of how do I want to feel. Now, I don't necessarily feel bad, but I know I can feel better. I know what it means not to eat meat. I've done it before. I know what it means to live healthy and strong and centered and not getting caught up in a lot of anxiety and worry. And it really is connected to our food a lot of the times. He said he was a fried chicken junkie. He had fried chicken for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, whenever he could find. I'm like, oh my God, that would make me sick to even think about it. But that was what he was doing. But he caught himself. So the one word he used when somebody said to him, well, how do you do it? He said, you've got to be determined. So take a moment and remember the last time you were determined about something. Maybe you were determined to get a degree. Maybe you were determined to learn something in a program. Maybe you were determined to save so much money. I remember when I made that choice, and I still live by that. Maybe you were determined to make your marriage work or make your relationship work, or you were determined to shift a relationship. Maybe you were determined to buy a particular piece of property. Where were you determined in the last time that you can think about it? And then what I want you to capture is the energy of being determined, because that's your spirit. Determination is spirit. Now, granted, the mind can support it if you get your mind on track and you keep it on track. But determination is the energy of the spirit. So you must recognize that you have a mind, you have a body, and you have a spirit. There's no other way. You must be determined. You must take the action step by step by step by step. You say you need to try a healthy diet. That's doable. You must decide for you, because I thought about it yesterday. They were saying all last year about the pandemic and everything. They're like, oh, this is unprecedented. This is unprecedented. I hate the news trying to define things for me, so I won't let television define it. But I had to say, when it came to last Wednesday, I'm like, okay, the virus, that's not unprecedented to me. But white folks going up in the white building up there to tear it up, that's unprecedented. Now, that's some unprecedented actions. You being able to navigate your life, to write out your vision, what you want your life to feel like in those 4 areas, to decide one goal. Stop giving yourself 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 goals. You can't do all that. There's just too much going on. Not to mention if you have a husband and you have children and you have family. One goal. Maybe it's to drink more water. That's one of the things we always need. Maybe it's to get more sleep. One goal. And know that it involves your mind, your body, and your spirit. Mine this week is not to eat any meat. That's where I'm starting. No meat. And that's okay with me, because I'm like, okay, I got fish on the side when I want it. So that one goal, and you anchor yourself in your goals by your spirit. Your mind isn't enough to do your goals, okay? Your body isn't enough to do your goals. You want to sit in stillness. You want to get really clear in your own mind of what your goal is. But more importantly, this is the key. Everybody's running around doing vision boards and putting all these papers on their vision, all these pictures on their vision board. I'll probably do a class. I think I looked on the calendar, maybe November, it's January. January 28th on Thursday, I think I'm going to do a vision board session. But one of the things I want you to know, because you may or may not join me, is whatever you say you're going toward, whatever the goal is, whatever you say you want to create in your life, you have to be clear on how you're going to feel in the process of having it. Having it. Again, now we're talking about spirit. I'm not talking about your mind. I'm not talking about your body. How will you feel when you have saved, I don't know, $1,000? How will you feel when you know you've got money in your savings account that you're not going to be touching? How will that feel for you? How will it feel for you to lose 5 pounds? Before you even get to the 5 pounds, let's break it down even smaller. How will it feel for you tomorrow morning to get up and go for a walk before you go to work? You want to break it down that small. How will it feel for you to, forget tomorrow, today, to go for a walk for 30 minutes? How will that feel? How will it feel for you today if it's eating to eat the kind of way that you want to eat? And be conscious when you're doing it. Don't just eat because like, okay, just checking it off like, well, I did it. No, enjoy the food, eat the food, taste the food, understand where the food is coming from and what the food is connected to. It's connected to the earth, which is connected to everything that there is. How will you feel in the midst of it? And that's what's going to determine your success. So get clear on what's your vision in the 4 areas of your life. With your health and with your heart, with your faith and your finance. Those are the 4 areas of our lives where we get our most satisfaction and fulfillment from. One goal that you're going to do. One goal. Because we do have all that other unprecedented stuff going on, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what the heck is going to happen next. But in the meantime, I'm not going to eat meat. See, and my next thing will be potato chips, because I have this thing about crunch. I don't know if anybody else has it, and if you know what it's about, let me know, because I do not get it, but oh God. Trader Joe's has these olive oil chips, crunch. Lay's has these, and I didn't know this. A friend of mine brought these to me, and I'm like, where'd these come from? Lay's, reduce whatever chips, and they got that crunch. I cannot let them in my house or anywhere near me. Nowhere near me. So you want to understand those kind of little things about yourself, but recognize that your mind, your goals are your mind, they're your body, and it's your spirit that's going to bring them into manifestation. The rest of it with your mind, why it's so critical is because it's always running, and it's often running on old information. So if you listen to it, everybody wants to lose weight at the beginning of the year, and it lasts like 2 or 3 weeks because your mind is trying to do it by itself, and you haven't included not just your body, but your spirit. Do you sit and visualize your goal being achieved? Believe that it's been achieved. What is it Steve Covey told us? Start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. So when you're walking, instead of saying, oh, how terrible it is, or talking to friends, to ignore the walk, pay attention when you're walking. Get off of your phones. Look at nature. Notice what's around you. Notice what you say to yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Be connected to yourself and feel the determination. You've got to build that up within you, just like your muscles. And I looked at my muscles the other day. I haven't done any weights in about 2 weeks. Not okay with that. But it's your mind that's going to be the one that's the culprit. It's our mind that's the one, well, we don't have to do it today. It's raining. We don't have to do it today. It's cold. Or we don't, it's like that little bitty voice inside. And you have to sit down with that voice and say, excuse me, I have a goal. And these are the action steps I'm going to take. Now, you can either be on point with me in making this happen, or I can just ignore you while I'm doing my walk. But and the other thing for your thoughts, mind, body, you have to feed your mind the thoughts that are going to support the action you want to take, because you are the thinker who thinks the thoughts that are going to show up in your life. So if you keep thinking, oh, well, I can't do it, or this is hard, then it's going to be hard. I walk up a hill. Well, I was doing it every day, but now if I do it, Al Sharpton does, and I just only work out 20 minutes a day, which I don't know to work. I like my 45-minute walk up a hill. Do you think I'm walking up that hill saying, oh my God, this is so hard. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Heck no, I would never get up the hill. And it's a steep hill. So your mind is the key in this process, but you have to tell it what to do. Stop acting like it knows everything. And then my body, I just make sure, because I have what is it called? A mermaid belt that I put on so that I can sweat when I'm walking. And that's probably about all. So that's what takes care of my body. I hydrate my body. It needs food. Okay, so I've got that. But what gets me moving and keeps me taking those steps is the spirit part. The birds I hear singing. This time that I have that's kind of mine, that's quiet, nobody's calling me. I don't have to run to this appointment or coach a client, or I'm just in this moment. I'm feeling my breathing. I'm recognizing that I don't make myself breathe, that there's this infinite power and presence that breathes our breath. Have you ever realized that? We don't carry an oxygen tank around with us per se. It is a presence that's breathing this breath. So that's where you focus on you. How amazing am I going to feel when I finish this walk? What is going to happen inside my body when I finish this walk, or when I get a good night's sleep, or when I take a few moments to read another story, or if I take 10 minutes to sit in silence and be still, or if I turn the TV off early. How is that going to make me feel? And you always focus on the end goal that you're going toward. Don't keep focusing on where you are now. Oh, I hate to eat this food. I would be on a diet. I don't feel like eating this food. Well, that won't get you there. There's your thoughts. See, they're taking you off track, but you control your thoughts. And I know you're like, well, Jenenne, it's not the easiest thing. I didn't say it was easy. It wasn't easy getting fat. It wasn't easy overweight. That wasn't an easy thing. You ate some of this, you ate some of that. You worked on it unknowingly. You were working on getting fat, unconsciously doing it. So these three elements are key, and you're the one in charge of them. You're in charge of your thoughts. You're in charge of your mind. Yes, you are. You are. When you want to be conscious with it. So that, people are like, well, I don't have that much power. You have more power than you know. So you anchor your goals in your spirit. You monitor your mind, the thoughts that you're thinking, and your body, the elements that are going to help you in seeing it. And then get a book, get a piece of paper. Carol gave me the word. Al Sharpton gave it to me last night. I'm so glad because I would have forgotten it. And write determination on it. Or write yourself a piece of paper that says, I am determined to, and then write in your goal. I am at the helm of my life. I am. That's a powerful 2 words to say, because that's not saying Jenenne is. That's not saying Carol is. That's not saying Stephanie is. That's not saying Ann is. That's saying the I am is responsible for this. Now you brought in spirit, even unknowingly. But when you spend all your time, and we spend all our time, well, I say you, because I usually walk by myself, talking and talking and talking and talking and looking at that. I have a friend who looks at CNN all day long. I'm like, if you don't turn it off, you have a life to live. They're living their life up there, doing what they've been called to do to make some shifts on this planet, because we're still in transformation. But you have a life to live. You've been given certain mandates, even consciously or unconsciously, of what you're supposed to do and create while you're here. And it's not sitting at TV looking at what's going to happen with somebody else's life. So set your vision in the 4 areas of your life. Write yourself one goal. One goal. Stop putting 3 and 4 goals on there. You just don't do no 3 or 4 goals. One goal. I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm going to exercise 5 times a week for 15 minutes. What are you going to do? Where are you going to exercise? You're going to walk. Here, I can walk the Rose Bowl. I've mapped out like 3 or 4 different walking areas. I have a friend in LA who walks. I can go in there and walk with them. What are you going to do? Or do you have a bike? You're going to ride your bike. I have a bike. My son has a bike. Only brought it about twice time. We only brought it out about 2 times, but we're working on that. I get my walk in. And then think of the thoughts you're thinking. You decide the thoughts that you're going to think about your goals. Write it down in your journal. This is what I'm going to think about food. This is what I'm going to think about my health goal. This is what I'm going to think about my financial goal. This is what I'm going to think about my spiritual goal. 1. Your one goal spiritually may be to sit in stillness for 10 minutes and just visualize the results that you want to see from your goals when you've achieved them. Because see, you've got to pump the energy for your goals. You keep acting like because you set a goal, somebody's going to come around and just give you a magic wand and make it happen. You're the magic wand. Your energy's the magic wand. So you pump your goals. So why wouldn't you just take some time and go sit down somewhere? You know, I'm always going to be somewhere by some water because water's always running. And just sit with your goal. But sit with the end result. What it's going to feel like when you've lost the 2 pounds, the 3 pounds, the 5 pounds. How much fun it's going to be for you to mark on your calendar that you've exercised. I just have check marks on my calendar. How much fun is it going to be because you say, okay, I'm going to buy this dress or this pants or this shirt when I reach this size. Your determination is simply that you're going to put one foot in front of the other and you commit to keep doing it. And here's the thing. Those days you, quote, fall off the wagon, do not let that be the end of the process. You get up the next day and you do it again. You just have to reinforce that mind that you listen to. Let's just know, okay, you're not my friend because you're telling me I don't have to exercise or you're coming up with excuses for me not to exercise. Yeah, no. I need to get back at the helm of my life. And visualize yourself in an invisible kind of a, I don't want to say a car, but a bubble, and that you're at the helm of your life. And you body and spirit are bringing into manifestation what you want to see showing up. Don't give your power to anybody. We got to stop giving our power to food and stop giving our money, our power to the thoughts that we have. They say, oh, spend, buy, do. No, no, no. You're the one at the helm. And when you recognize mind, body, and spirit, then you recognize wherever you are, spirit is. You're never without that spirit being there with you on the journey. And if you pull it in more and more, focus on it more and more, acknowledge it more and more, you'll see the results within you as you achieve the goals. That's why you think I'm outside in nature all the time. This is the biggest infinite playground there is. I look at trees next to each other, but they're not fighting. How they lean on each other, how they kind of take care of each other. I'm looking at my plants as they're beginning to grow. We're getting ready to move in the spring. Have you looked at plants lately? All my old ones are dying off. If I was in the front yard, I could show you. And at the bottom, all the new green leaves are coming. It's automatically happening. This continues to happen on the planet no matter what man is doing, no matter what transformation is happening. And just like that is happening, we want to get on that same ride with the universe, and we just want to ride with it. Achieving goals don't have to be hard. You don't have to fight and struggle with yourself. Set your vision in those 4 areas. Choose one goal, and here's the thing. Choose the action that you're going to take, and then do that action over and over and over until it becomes something that you do automatically. Then add another goal. Don't start off with no 5 and 6, 7, 8 goals. One goal. Spiritually, maybe your goal is to read something spiritually motivating. Well, good morning. Maybe it's to sit in meditation. I do my meditations early in the morning. Maybe it's to read the Bible, the Quran. Maybe it's to chant. Or maybe there's a particular song that you sing. Activate your spirit. Activate it. I activate mine because I walk around, I talk to the trees, I look at the trees because I believe them are energy and God created them, man didn't create them. So I believe they're all connected to the universe and everything that's magnificent and forever. Activate your spirit. And then your mind, track your mind because it seems to think you're not in control. It seems to think it's the one that's telling you what to do. And it's telling you old data. Oh, you can't do this. Last time you tried to lose weight, you couldn't do it. Shut up. I can do whatever I choose to do and put my mind to. It's your mind. I put my mind to it. And then after I get my mind straight, then I go to my body and say, listen, you don't really do, well, that's not true. I was going to say, you really don't do much unless I tell you to, but that's not true. Our hearts beat and we don't tell it to. Our lungs breathe and we don't tell it to. Blood runs through our body and we don't tell it to. So we know that there's something that's making this all work, and it's not all of us. That's just the reality of it. So you get to talk to your body and say, okay, body, this is what we're doing. We're drinking more water. And mind, you get to agree with that. So when you get ready to drink the water, mind, I don't like this water. Would you come on now, be quiet. We all got to be on the same page. And right now we're going to lose weight. We're going to drink some water. We're going to be healthy. These are all conversations you're having with yourself. That's why it's about you and your vision, and you're setting that one goal and then the action steps. Now, give yourself 2 action steps. Do not give yourself like 4 or 5 different action steps. Give yourself 2. So mine is no meat, which isn't the easiest thing because my son eats everything. So when I cook for him, it includes meat. It'd be easy if I could make him a vegetarian, but he had allergies growing up, so he didn't start eating ice cream. He didn't have soda. He didn't have a whole bunch of the stuff that everybody else was eating. He didn't have that till he was like 14. So he's just now getting to some of the things. I'm sure if I tried to tell him now, you can't have it, he'd be like, Mom, are you crazy? I just got to it. But you're the one that's in control. You get to see this happen for yourself, and it's a step-by-step process. I'm here as the coach to help you, to motivate you, to keep you on track, because I'm aware a lot of this stuff, it ain't the easiest thing to do by yourself. It's not the easiest thing to do when you have other people who are doing the opposite. So it becomes important for you to surround yourself with like-minded people. Years ago, I did... well, quite frankly, I've done every diet program there had. But I remember years ago going to Weight Watchers. And it was sitting in a group. And I thought, oh, okay, this gives you the group support. The only thing is after I leave, I'm like, okay, what's going to happen the rest of the day? But you will need support. That's why I do coaching. That's why I help women with their money. Because when you make these changes and you make these kind of commitments to your life, you want people around you who are also of that same mindset. It's hard to do the shifts and changes when your best girlfriend is eating all the fried chicken and you're not, or your son over here is doing this and you're not. You want to surround yourself with people who are of the same mindset, who have the same similar goals. That's why I loved my gym, because, John was there and Gabe was there and Pedro was there and then the women were there. So we were all of the same mindset. And it helps to keep you on track. Those people who are on track with where you are and what you're doing, and create your own group. But until that happens, I need for you to know, in the midst of all this that's going on, your life is still calling you to step into your goals and your dreams. If it was to write a book, if it was to lose 10 pounds, if it was to have a different kind of relationship, if it was to fall more in love with yourself, if it was to buy a new car, if it's to buy a house, if it's to start your own business, that's yours and it doesn't change, because we are going through the biggest racial shift that we could have gone through on this planet. But we've been building for this for 400 years. It's supposed to be happening now, but you don't get a pass when it comes to your goals and your vision and taking action for what you want to see showing up in your life. So thank you so much for being here. I will put I'm going to sit with it a little bit more, but I do think I'm going to do a visioning session on I think it's the 28th of this month. It's a Thursday. I do most of my coaching calls and everything. I'll do a master class around that. Please feel free to join me. I'll leave it there for you. If you go to my website, www.JenenneMacklin@JenenneMacklin.com, I'll have it there. You register there, then you get on my list, and everybody on my list just automatically gets a notice saying, hey, come join me. Let's create your vision. Let's get behind the true process of visioning and what that looks like for you and how to do it with grace and ease. Yes, yes? So Carol, have a good day. Tanya, have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Regina, good to see you. And Patricia Shelton, thanks for being here. Hey, Carol, thank you so much, too, for the information. Can't wait for some in-person conferences. I know, huh? I was looking at doing my book tour for next year because my affirmation cards are coming. I'm so excited. I did a book, Money Mastery. I'll let you go. Money Mastery Now. And then I did affirmation cards, too, to go along with the book. So those are going to be coming out. But I decided to do a membership site instead, because this, I think, will at least carry us until we're going to be doing COVID and all this stuff until easily April, I think. Easily April, May. So I'm hoping maybe June, July, or August, I might be able to do something toward the latter part of this year. Or if not, Carol, you know what? If we can't do it in person, I'm like, you know what? That's not true. I can't do it in person. I can just do it with 10 people spread around, right? So maybe we will look at what we can make happen. Stephanie Taylor, take good care. Mary, so good to see you. Jose, have a great day. Dawn, have a great day as well. Good morning. They are all connected. Carol said it. Your mind, your body, and your spirit, or your soul. It's all connected. So that's what you want to look at. Don't overwhelm yourself. I'll keep you posted on and here's the thing. I was reading Wayne Dyer's Change Your Thoughts to Change Your Life. And the chapter I was on was about staying present. Be here now. Be here now with your goals. Don't be here and I don't know, it's like 9 o'clock in the United States, it's 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 12 o'clock, whatever time it is, wherever you are, be here now. Don't go into tomorrow. Don't go into the next day. Right here, right now. My goal is not to eat meat. So I'm going to go in there and fix my son some pancakes and get my butt out that kitchen and fix me some egg whites with some spinach and call it a day. Be here now. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. It has not come. What was that saying they used to say? Today is the day that you worried about yesterday. Well, you're here in it. Live it to your fullest. Trust you. Have more inside of you than you can imagine. And let those three, your mind, body, and spirit, be what anchors you. So you're not tossed to and fro by what's happening with the politics and this and that and being nervous and afraid. Oh my God, whoever going to come get me? And oh my God, is this going to come get me? Yeah, we live with a heightened awareness, but we live with that most of our lives. It's just a little bit more now. And particularly for me, because I have a son. And I was so pissed off about Maya in New York grabbing that 14-year-old child, trying to talk about he had taken her phone. I was so pissed off with her about that. That was so unacceptable to me. I'm like, track your own behavior. Go and see the places you might have been where you might have left your phone. How dare you reach over to him and say he took your phone? So we are more mindful of our boys, yes. But we still have to live our lives. we still have things that we've been called to do to manifest on this planet. People need our services. People need our kindness. People need our compassion. They need our smarts. They need our understanding. So show up in your life for you. And then you'll also see how that will impact others too. Take good care. Have a great day. I guess I'll hop back on here on Wednesday. Okay. And I'll let you know. I'll go ahead and we'll probably work on it and get it finalized to do the visioning session. I know a friend of mine is doing a visioning board session this weekend. She asked me to come sit in on it. I'm not trying to teach there. But for those on my list who may want to know and understand that process, I'm telling you now, it involves your mind, body, and spirit. You can't have any goal success without mind, body, and spirit. Stay with Stephen Covey. Begin with the end in mind. Where do you want to end up? If you want to lose 10 pounds, start with the 5 and then add 5 more on. What do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to taste like? All those are elements to making your goals a reality for you. Start small and just keep adding on to it. Take good care. Have a great day. Hey, Mary, how are you? I see you down there with your leg. Yes. Bye for now.